And darling, I am not afraid to love you. I am not afraid. Charlie Crockett, I am not afraid. Once I get the money, then I'll be confident and an authority in my work. We think that we get the external validation, then we feel okay about ourselves. We think that we get the result, then we become the person. Like first I need a certificate, then I be the coach. It's the other way around. It is the other way around. First, we become the person, then we get the result. And in this video, I plan to shatter your belief system around this topic here and give you a very practical process to become the person and therefore experience the result because of that. Without relying on the external stuff. It's all you. Okay? Really, really interesting stuff. And shattering your belief system here, that sounds a little intense, right? But it's completely out of love, I promise, because you have a goal in mind. And it's probably a financial goal or to change your current life situation some sort of way, whether that's moving abroad to another country, earning more money, scaling your online business, whatever that thing is. Goal number one is to become the person who achieves the goal. Okay? So think about that for a second. Goal number one is to become the person who achieves the goal. And isn't that nice to know? Because that shortcuts everything. It doesn't matter what the goal is. That can save you a lot of time. Knowing that it's about becoming the person, then you experience your goal as a side effect. So you need to ditch all this external noise telling you that you need some sort of strategy or certificate or formality with it. Because if you're watching this video, you're most likely an entrepreneur. You're most likely maybe working in sales or in digital marketing of some sort. And you have your goal, but maybe you don't feel like the person who gets the goal. This is something that I came across when I got started. I didn't feel deserving of it. And man, I completely get that feeling, Maybe you don't feel like an authority in your space. Maybe at a subconscious level, you don't actually feel like you deserve the thing. And that's okay, because like I said, we're going to go through a very simple process to change that. And it has nothing to do with the external world. Okay? It has everything to do with you. And man, this is special. But before we get into that process, I want to level with you here a little bit, okay? And be completely honest with you, because a few years ago, I didn't understand some of these concepts and practices that we're going to talk about here. Like, what can these topics of energy, frequency, vibration, affirmations, my belief system, my paradigm, what can understanding these things actually do for me and my work? It's a valid question, right? Because I get on calls with people and there's this clear gap between the work I'm doing and how it relates to business. Let me be honest with you. So with this video, without making it 6 hours long, because I could ramble on a bunch of different things here, but we want to close that gap with this video. So let's get started here in closing that gap. Because over the past couple years here, over the past few years, I've run some very intentional experiments on my own in terms of how does it go from here to out here? What does that process look like? How does it go from my mind to in my external world? And if I had to put that in a sentence of what I've learned, if I had to put in a sentence what I've learned about that right there, and I can save you a lot of time, okay? I can shortcut you some time here. It's about what you believe to be true to yourself. Let me restart, okay? This is important. It's about what you believe to be true about yourself at a deep level. So like I said, maybe you feel undeserving of the goal. And I had that same experience. Right? Like you get a certificate, but you don't feel any different. Right? You purchase the LLC, but you don't feel any different. You're like, damn, that didn't do shit. Right? So why is that? What would it feel like to have complete certainty around you achieving the goal? That's the question. What would it feel like if you had complete certainty around you achieving that goal? Try to enter that state of mind for a second here. Of unbreakable certainty, conviction. And I'm talking certainty like I know that I have white skin. I'm a gringo here in Colombia. I am the gringo aquí en Colombia. And I know that for certain. Like I have white skin. I'm talking that level of certainty with you and whatever you're working on. So how do we build that certainty? How do we build on that certainty? How do we become the person to get the result that we're looking for? Without the external stuff, right? So this is great. And this is the interesting part on the process of doing that. And it has everything to do with you. And like I said, I could go in a million different directions right now, but we're just gonna cover one method, one practice to build on that, to build on becoming the person. Okay? So, first of all, we need to understand that we need to practice the emotions related to that person. Okay? That person who gets the goal. Let's call that person, let's call that version of you the evolving self. That's your evolving self, the person who gets the goal, right? And it's important to understand as well, this evolving self isn't somewhere out there, okay? We gotta come back to here, okay? It's not somewhere out there. Your evolving self is a state of mind waiting to be tapped into. So that can happen right now. And you don't need any external validation to confirm that. Okay? So this is where we get into the energetic side of things. This is where we peel back the curtain a little bit. The person who achieves the goal is here right now. It's just a state of mind waiting to be tapped into. But we don't like to hear that, right? Because we need some external thing to tell us that we're that person. Man. I hope you're enjoying this. Okay, so the first step in this practice we are going to write out exactly what that person looks like and who that person is. And I'm talking, spend some time on this. I'm talking the emotions that this person feels on a daily basis. I'm talking, where do you live? I'm talking, how do you behave? This evolving self. What is the daily routine? What do you speak about? What topics do you speak about? Who do you hang out with? I'm talking about spending a good couple hours initially writing it all out. Okay, and the vision boards, that stuff is great too, but we're just going to cover writing it out in a document. So spend a good couple hours initially writing it out. Then you're going to keep coming back to this document and making edits week after week, month after month, okay? Or, revisiting it daily is nice too. So you're going to put this into a document, get very clear, step one, on what this person looks like. Details, okay? And use the words that strike that chord in you, right? That's why words are creative. You're able to strike a certain chord in you by wording things a certain way, right? Describe this person, this evolving self. That's number one. Number two, put this writing, this document, into a short form of 3 sentences in the present tense with a focus on practicing the higher emotions, that higher energy state. Okay? So low energy states, fear, doubt, lack. Higher energy states, certainty, abundance, peace. This is an example. This is an example of putting it into a short form sentence, okay? And the idea with this is to have 3 sentences that you can remember, okay? One example would be, I am so happy and grateful now that I am earning over 10K per month with an online business that I love. That covers a lot, right? That one covers a lot of ground. Another example would be, I am a magnet to all forms of prosperity. Prosperity. That one's more general, but also great. Okay? So it's about getting specific on what your goal is and how you can package that into 3 sentences that you can remember. So you're creating 3 succinct sentences that you can remember and repeat to yourself throughout your day as you're going about your day. The important thing to understand here, though, is this isn't just words, okay? This means nothing without practicing the feelings, without practicing those higher energy states. Because like I said, your evolving self is a state of mind waiting to be tapped into. And that requires changing your energetic state. Okay? So that's what we're doing here. Now, this is getting very specific. Step number 3. Before you go to bed, you are going to get up. You're going to like this. Because I can almost guarantee you haven't done this, but if you have, that's phenomenal. Before you go to bed, you're going to get up, stand up, you're going to pace around your room, and you're going to say these things to yourself. And not only are you going to say these sentences that align with your goal, you're going to act it out in a way too, right? So you're going to get up. You're going to get up before you go to bed, and you are going to read these things, and you're going to change your state, right? You're going to say these things with animation, right? You're You're going to say these sentences to yourself and you're going to act it out in a way. You're going to change your energetic state. And that is putting you in the energetic state of that evolving self, okay? So that's what you're going to do. You're going to read these things to yourself, you're going to pace around, and you're going to get into it, okay? And I'll let you experiment with that. But that is connecting with those words in an emotional way. And when there's emotion wrapped in with the words, that's where you're really pulled to it, okay? By moving your body, by pacing around your room, moving your body, by acting it out in a way, you're changing your energy and you're creating sparks there. You're embodying that evolving self. You're tapping into that evolving self. And the trick is to stay there. Okay? To stay there. So by doing this practice, and by telling yourself who you are, you're embedding it into your subconscious mind. And over time, this is the interesting thing. Over time, you know it to be true. You believe it. Over time, you start to believe it. And all you need is that first bit of movement. You could listen to this and just think this is blasphemy, but all you need is that first bit of movement internally, or something externally happens in your world too, that reflects you being that person now. Wow. Wow. All you need is that first movement in here where you double taking and think, oh, maybe I am that. Actually, I think I do deserve that. That is all you need. That's all you need right there. So I encourage you to put this into practice, because that is all you need. Once you feel that, you have successfully caught on to the upward spiral. And you're gone. Becoming the person who gets the result. Okay, it's inevitable there. Like I said, the upward spiral. And it goes both ways, right? And maybe you're somewhere on this spiral, and maybe you're gonna have to work against the stream for a little bit. Okay, you're going against the flow of the stream. But goal number one is to be the person who gets the goal. And we just laid out a very simple practice to do that. That relies nothing about external validation, a certificate, a strategy, a method, an outreach method, a sales script, these different things. No, it's all with you. And it's a muscle to be trained. That's another important thing to know. It is a muscle to be trained. So if you've never done a practice like this, don't expect to be great at it to begin, right? If you feel like you can't connect with the feelings, keep practicing it. Keep reading those things to yourself and feel what it would be like in that person's shoes, right? If you're an entrepreneur or working in sales, I also do one-to-one work with my YouTube channel, with the topics on my YouTube channel, what we just spoke about here. So if you enjoyed this and you're looking to learn more on that, you can find more information in the description below. But we covered a lot in this video, and this one is This one's a little longer, but this one is really important. So I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.